Let's talk for 30. Where you at on your journey? Tell me what you learning. What's your line of business? How you make your earnings? Do you give back to your city or educate the ones that listen? Time to show them how to get it. Give the people what they missing. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. What's your line of business? How you make your earnings? Let's talk for 30. Dreamer.
Welcome to Talk for 30, a platform for individuals to share their life stories, journeys, and passions with us. Today, I have Michael Jones here with me, and I am so excited. Michael, please tell everybody who you are and a little bit about your story, because we're going to get into it.
How you doing? I'm so blessed to be here today. My name is Michael Jones. I've done a couple of things. I'm an author, teacher. I've written a book. I've written plays. I'm doing a couple of things. I have a nonprofit organization that we'll talk about. Then I'm doing my health fair in Augusta. So several things I'm doing, and it's all basically because God has given me a certain set of skills, and it's up to me to use those skills to benefit others. Because I live with an expression: what you do for yourself lives until you die. What you do for others lives on a lifetime. So that's what it's important for me, to live a legacy and to do things that not only reflect me, but reflect others. Because I'm an educator. I took a leave of absence, from school, elementary school for right now, but I'll be back next year. So 5th grade, you'll see me back again.
What or who inspired you to start these numerous ventures that you have done?
I would say God inspired me, but that's the foundation, that I full, because preacher, when my family was military and my, family was Christian and stuff like that. So that's my foundation. But the inspiration primarily came, I went to Atlanta, I went to college, Morris Brown, and being in the Black community, I learned a lot about who we are as African people. And going through all of that and the trials and tribulations that made us the strong Black people we are. So everything I do, I want to uplift who we are. So I would think that, the ancestors who made me who I am inspire me to do more.
What started your journey, or the journey, $1 at a time?
Well, $1 at a time, way back in 1995, in Morris Brown, in Atlanta. And I had a dream. And the dream was, can all African Americans come together $1 at a time? I was, in college, and I was thinking, I was talking to a lot of nonprofit organizations in Atlanta, and I was asking them who funds them. Who supports the nonprofit organizations, helping children and things like that. And they were all coming back to me and saying, well, AT&T, MCI, and Coca-Cola. I'm like, but we're in Atlanta. We have millionaire athletes and architects and engineers. They're not supporting you? And they're like, no, we're not giving us any money. So I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise $1 million, $1 at a time, by Black folks, and redirect it back into the Black community. So the way it manifests itself, I had a nonprofit organization in Atlanta called the Minority Leads Club of Atlanta, which was a networking organization, and we got together and passed business cards, real estate and car insurance, stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? We're gonna raise $1 million this year, and we're gonna adopt one organization in Atlanta to show what we can and willing to do $1 at a time. So Grant Park was the area that we adopted, Brightside Academy in Atlanta. They were a nonprofit organization that was helping children, after school program, teaching them to read and things like that after school. So I was like, okay, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna ask groups. So we got together, flyers and all kinds of things, and I started to speak. And I'm so blessed that I was given the desire to keep a journal of who I was speaking to all year long. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just, okay, I spoke to this group. Right down with it. Spoke to this group. So I kept a journal all year long. I started January 3rd of 1996, all year long, on radio and TV and in print, speaking of Black Secretary Association, Black Lawyer Association, Greek clubs and sororities, fraternities. All year long, we found groups to speak to, big, small groups. And it became evident, it was so interesting of a year. I would say interesting because at the end of the year, December 6th of 1996, at the end of the year, we raised a little over $4,000 for the whole year. Mm-hmm. And the way the movement manifests itself, George Andrews, president of Capital City Bank in Atlanta, opened a bank account for Brightside Academy. So just go to the bank, put your dollar in the bank account, sign your name on a deposit slip to show your name as a pledge to their organization. So at the end of the year, we gave $4,000 to the Brightside, and I was sad and disgusted how we didn't get our goal. And I believe one of the things that motivates me and I live with is I believe that God sends angels in the form to people to speak through people to guide you along your way. And I listened to these angels, and the person spoke to me, was like, you know what? You got to put it in perspective. I was like, well, what do you mean put it in perspective? We didn't raise $1 million. We were planning to, and organizations, Black folks would not support Black children. And I was like, why? When you're giving millions of dollars to white organizations, but yet we couldn't get a little bit of money for Black. And he's like, put it in perspective. They have had 400 years to create a political system, economic system, and work system. We have had 40 years and 60 years, from Malcolm and Martin dying 65 and 68 until now, to create everything in the world. So you put 400 years to 40 and 60 years, you're comparing an adult to a child that never had anything. So when you give a child a brand new toy, you see them abuse it, misabuse it, abuse it, and you lose it because they never had the coping skills that came with owning something for the first time. Mm-hmm. So we in America, I was upset, but I had to relax and relate to what we were doing in our community. So I took my journal, put it all together, and someone said, you know what? You need to put it in a book. I'm like, a book? I graduated architecture. I could build you a house, but I don't write a book. So we just put it together. You can do it. I was like, okay. And 4 years later, I wrote the book, $1 at a time. So it came as a movement, and it still is my philosophy throughout all the things I've done. And you'll see the timeline of things I've done. People are like, how did you do this? $1 at a time. It's easier to ask 1 million people for $1 than to ask one person for $1 million. So wow. If I need $15, I can find 15 people to give me $1. Wow, right. So that's how I live my life, 1 mile at a time. I don't jump ahead. I do what God asked me to do, and I move forward. As long as you're moving in a positive forward direction, you're not going to go backwards. So that's $1 at a time.
$1 at a time. Wow. Name some of the plays that you have written.
Okay. Well, I started with, like I said, $1 at a time, the book. And the book I turned into a stage play. Because people read, and a guy came up to me, another angel, and said to me, you know what? I love your book, because I did a book tour from 2000 2001. And he's like, I love your book, but have you ever thought about writing a play? And I wish to this day I knew that person's name, because that was an angel speaking through that person. Mm-hmm. And that person gave me a desire. I'm like, plays? I think I did a play when I was in high school or something to try to impress a girl, but I don't know anything about plays. But I decided, I'm like, okay, I can do a play with a timeline. So Never Again came from the book $1 at a time. And I started the play. We came to Augusta in 2000, and we did it in Imperial Theater and sold out my very first show.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that was like, wow, my very first show. A lot of people in Augusta supported it. It was so, and that's been the high I've been chasing ever since. You know?
Ever since.
It's been incredible.
What's the story behind Never
Well,
Again?
Never Again is based on where a grandmother explains the mental conditioning of slavery to her grandson. And you actually see, like I said, the stage play, you see how the grandmother is talking about, because a young kid, he's 12 years old, like a lot of kids, like, Grandma, I heard stuff about slavery today. Them slaves were stupid. And Grandma's like, well, let me sit you down. Let me tell you how it was back then. So you see how the slaves, and you see the mental conditioning from light skin, dark skin, long hair, short hair, long hair, in-house, out-house. And you see how she's explaining to him. He still don't get it. He's like, conditioning? I'm not conditioned. I do what I want to do and whenever I want to do it. So it's a timeline from slavery through Negro baseball league to Vietnam, all the way up to kids walking around with their pants down. And the grandma's explaining where it came from. And the kid's like, that's cool, Grandma. It came from the rappers. And Grandma's, no, baby. Let me tell you where it came from. So it's a timeline, and we did it in Augusta, and we toured from 2002 to 2004 in many Georgia and Alabama cities. And it was like, it was phenomenal. And I was like, wow, this is something that, you know, I never knew I had the ability to do until that person told me I needed to do it. And I listened. And I, like I said, Never Again tour from 2002 to 2004. Then 40 Acres Who Stole the Mule. That one came as a follow-up to Never Again.
Okay.
Where a family finally gets their 40 acres and a mule for their family. And today, and the family's trying to sell the mule, steal the mule, because they find out you can sell it for $10,000. So you see how material things can break up a family, and the grandmother's trying to keep her family together. So that was real successful, and because it's more of a generational thing. It's more, you know, it fits a lot of people because families are fighting over material things. And we need to stop that, because it's not about grandma's diamond ring that you found after she passed and everybody wants it. And everybody's like, no, she left it to me. No, she left it to me. And now, you know, brothers and sisters are talking to each other, and families are disjointed all over money, when we should love one another, because a family is all we have.
Right.
And then when God calls, we answer, came as a result of me finding my calling in life. And this is my calling. So the stage play toured from 2011 into 2018. So we did many cities.
Now God has it written out for you. Like you say, the angel spoke to you and told you about your next venture, but it's already written out for you. And the things that you do in the midst of that time is preparing you.
Exactly. And you have to
exactly
listen.
What it was doing.
But a lot of people don't listen.
Right.
Or they allow the devil to say, well, you can't do that because you don't have a degree, you don't have education. I mean, doing plays for 20 years, and I didn't do a play in school, I didn't learn it. You know, you surround yourself by positive people and people that can teach you what you need to do. And now I'm a filmmaker. And I learned this, and you know, my camera people, when we were on set, like, you're in your theater thought. No, we have to do other things. You know, I'm thinking you get big actions. I'm like, no, it's the camera. It's on your face. We're looking at that. We don't care about the rest of you. And on stage, you have to be big actions. You know, you can do boo-hoo crying on stage, but in a movie, you can't do that.
Can't do that.
You know, tears need to fall.
Wow.
You know,
You gotta have the real thing.
So I had to learn, you know, the whole thing about what the camera sees. And that's interesting.
Right. How would you compare being an author, the plays, and then filmmaker?
Well, the literary form of which is, you know, being an author, That is very important, and a lot of people read. That is very important. You can allow their imagination to take on a thought. You can give them a thought in words, and their imagination can build on it. So they can make the story bigger than you could ever think. So that's what's a good thing. But with a stage play, you're giving them the story. They're not going too far beyond what you're giving them. But in a book, you can give them a little bit, and they're using their personal experiences, their life experiences, to get into it. And that's where you have an opportunity to reach more people and to magnify your product to reach more people and become different. Everyone reads it. But with the stage play, I love the art of being on stage, because that's more of an intimate thing. And with stage, you have sound, you have lighting, you have action from the actors, you have emotion that a book you can't do.
Right.
But on stage, you can, the music can bring you into it. And the actor can fall down on your knees, and it just, you feel that moment. And the actor starts trembling. And it's like half the people in the audience starting crying and hoo-hoo, and that's when you know you got it. And that's because in the stage plays I've been in, I'm watching the audience and I'm walking around. I'm like, did they get it? I'm like, she's crying. Ooh, this woman's got some tissue. I'm like, it is. You know, it worked. What you wrote worked, and the actors gave it. So the directing of it, since I had to learn directing, and since I'm a teacher, directing and teaching kind of goes hand in hand, because you're instructing on how you want them to get a message across, a word across, a sentence, a thought. So I love the directing aspect of it, of getting actors to, and I love to teach people how to cry in 5 seconds. That's my favorite thing. Method acting and sensory memory recall, and getting them to cry, and like, because why? On stage, you get one good chance of crying. If you didn't do good, that's it. Yeah. It's not like, okay, audience, cut, we're gonna cry again. But in a movie, you can cry 15, 20, 30, 40 times to get it right. So like a stage play, you get one bite at the apple. But with a movie, cut, redo, cut, redo, cut, redo. And when we did the slave scenes, oh wow, that was stuff. It was so fun. It was hot, and the actors were like, I'm like, cut. Okay, back to one means you get back to start again. And they get back out there and like, we gotta do this again. We've been picking cotton for like 15 minutes, and now we gotta do it again. Like, yeah, we gotta do it again. And then we had all kinds of things, like actors like, I'm tired, I'm about to pass out. I'm like, just imagine what the slaves did.
Oh, yes.
They didn't have to worry about passing out. They had to work. And we had like trailers out on site. We had air conditioning. We had, generators, and you can go over there and get some water and refresh yourself, take a moment, and go back. The slaves didn't have that opportunity. They didn't know what the word air conditioning meant. But now it's like, ooh, we got air. He got a generator out there, y'all. And we got a little air conditioning. And it's 100 degrees out here under the sun. And they're like, a plane's flying above. Sound guy's like, cut, we got, I hear a plane. And the actor's like, thank you. And they all run over to the tent all at once. Drinking water. I'm like, I hope it's a slow plane. So we had a lot of fun. So movies, it takes, and then you got the green screen. You got computer generated graphics. So many things I'm learning, because I didn't learn this in school, but I'm learning, and it's like, wow, this is so credible. And now I want to blow up a car. I want to blow up a car.
That's the
so
next
if anybody
one.
got a car out there and they want to blow up, send it my way.
All right. Right. Let's talk about your upcoming Health and Wellness Expo in Augusta.
Yes,
Share
yes.
information about that.
Okay, this, I'm so happy about it. I created a nonprofit organization that we've been doing the health fair, which I created it because my mother, she's my biggest supporter. She's 81. She's reminding me telling your age. She tells it all the time. She's got 3 heart attacks, diabetes, arthritis, and a 20-year breast cancer survivor. And she's strong. She's strong. She's got great health insurance because our father was military. So in 2010, I was thinking, I'm like, a lot of people don't have what you have. You have great health insurance. You go to the hospital, anything happen, $1,000 for free, you can get, anything. But other people don't. So I said, well, okay, I'm a producer, I can produce events, so I'm going to create a health fair.
Okay.
I started it in October. We did it in 2010 in Lucy Laney Gymnasium. The whole gym had a lot of doctors and hospitals providing screenings and all kinds of things. It was great. I did it in 2010. We got away from it, and we got back to it in 2019. And we did it at the May Park Community Center. And that was even bigger, and it was really good. And it's basically to raise awareness about the early detection of cancer. We've included, breast cancer is the main thing, and heart disease, diabetes, since my mother has those, and we added lung cancer, and we added prostate cancer. And then a whole host of other things came on board. This one now is 10 times bigger than the ones I've done. It's like people have been waiting for us to come back. We've got 40 hospitals, doctors, nurses, medical professionals doing free screenings. We've got 12 artists performing every 30 minutes on stage. Since I'm in the entertainment industry, we got a lot of artists, primarily gospel artists singing. And we got some Zumba, we've got sit and fit, we've got spoken word. So every 30 minutes, it's like you're at a concert, in the facility. We have classrooms that you're in.
Share about the classrooms.
Yes. We have classrooms, so we have certain oncologists doing seminars and workshops, and
A Nerve for Life will be there.
yes, we'll have a 20-page program booklet that will have all of the artists listed. You are in it, and all kinds of different businesses are listed in it. I'm so excited how this is going to happen, and this is the nonprofit arm of my business.
Now, when you're doing your stage plays and your production, how do you recruit?
Well, a lot of the actors that we've done, because like I said, I've been doing it for 20 years. So the first step is I pull from the existing actors that have worked with me for many years. Some for 20 years, some for 8 years, 10 years, or whatever, and they've been in other projects we've done. So other than that, I go on Facebook. If you're interested in going on a Facebook page, $1 at a Time Productions is the Facebook page. We'll be putting folks notices out there. I do casting calls on that a lot. I go to a lot of other productions. There's my way of thinking. If I need a certain actor to portray a certain message, I need to see what they're doing. I don't necessarily, as a director and a casting director, need you to come and audition with your monologue of Shakespeare. If I'm doing a gospel stage play, that Shakespeare monologue you just didn't do nothing for me. Because I don't know what you can do. I don't know if you can, because if I got you to read a scripture and you're reading it like you wrote it, you're reading it like it's just a passage in a book, that doesn't work for me. I need you to embody it. I need to know you feel the words. You can say the same thing one way and another way, and it's totally different. One way, no one gets it. The other way, everyone's crying. That's how you want to say it. Slow it down, enunciate your words. So when I'm looking for a certain character, whether they're funny, I'm going to comic shows. and I want to find a comedian. You know, if I want a gospel singer, I want to go to church. And I want somebody that can just, you know, blow. You know, so I look for people rather than, you know, a lot of people do the casting and everyone comes to them, and then you audition 20 or 30 or 100 people, and you get 5 people that, you know, it's okay. That's one way of doing it. But I look for people that can embody a certain character, you know, because I'm going to spend time teaching you to do that role. You know, so it's all about learning the person and being able, I would have a mediocre actor than having an actor with the head way up there that you can't teach anything. You know, because they, you know,
think they got it all.
Yeah. So I want someone I can teach.
Right. Do you have a team?
Yes, I have. Oh gosh, I have a wonderful camera person, Brian, awesome. Terrence, camera, lighting, grips, you know, wonderful people. Social media person that does all of the videos and all the things. If you go to my, you know, my YouTube channel, you know, she's put all that stuff together. I have a humongous team, and there's so many people that, with the health fair, I have my board of directors that are awesome, that are, you know, calling me all day long. You know, I got this person interested, I got this person interested. And now I'm like calling people, I'm like, oh, I could put you on an alternate list because we don't have enough space in the building. It's like,
you got a lot of support.
Yeah, and I mean, and I know my men and my brothers, I know we don't go to hospitals. It's like we should. We just don't. You know, I mean, hey, I'm like y'all too. I mean, you know, it's like, gotta go to the hospital kicking and screaming, you know. But we need to get checked on certain things because at the end of the day, it's about quality of life. You know, I mean, how much more life do you want to have? I mean, there's so many people, and you know, everyone knows somebody that didn't make it, especially through COVID and all the things that we went through. It's so sad that, you know, all you needed to do is to get checked.
Here's a good one for you. If you had to write a play or a book about Michael Jones, this is a good one. What would be the title?
Wow. Listening to Angels and Ancestors would be something that, I mean, that is the foundation of the things I've done. I listen to people because there's no way I could have done this by myself. You know, I mean, even when I came to Augusta and the guy says, have you ever thought about writing a play? I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay. I said, okay, yes, I can do that. And the first thing I did is I went to Augusta Mini Theater and Tyrone Butler. I got to give a shout out to him. I said, I need to learn what y'all do. Can I work with y'all? He's like, yeah, you can help backstage. And I was like, I can? I was like, that was my indoctrination into theater. And I worked backstage on, I think it was Picket and Fences, stage play or something like that. It was way back then. And I mean, I surrounded myself with people that knew more than I did about this industry.
That's important.
Because, hey, I didn't know anything about it. You know, like I said, I did a stage play to impress a girl, and I didn't do it too good in high school. I just went, and that was about it.
Right. It was a purpose for that. It was a purpose.
Yeah, and I still don't know her name. That was high school.
Did you even talk to her?
I was too scared, you know, because I wasn't a good actor, you know. I think she
Oh.
dated somebody who was an actor.
Oh, you'd be surprised. She probably remembers too. You have so many accomplishments. Which one stands out to you the most or make you the most proud?
Wow. The reason I laugh is I'm asked that a lot, and it's kind of like, which child do you like the most?
Because they're all your babies.
It's like,
there's no favorite.
how can I mean, you know.
Well, not even if you choose a book, but would you say which one has impacted you the most? The publishing, the plays?
Well, I'm not done yet.
Of course not.
Like I said, the book was the first opening into the entertainment industry. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just doing a book signing. And I was going from bookstore to bookstore, and I was like, well, can you hold my book? And, you know, at the bookstore, it's like, yeah, we can buy your books in wholesale, or we can do it on consignment, you know, and we'll give you, you know, 60%, and we'll take 40%. I'm like, okay. You know, I didn't know what I was doing because I created my own book. I created my own. When I first thought of writing a book, I sent my book to a lot of different publishers. And I think Dorrance and Rutledge and a couple other publishers I sent to, you know, like everyone else, sent out and try to get someone to publish it. And I was getting rejected letters, you know. And this one guy sent me a letter and said, I'd love to publish your book, and I'll give you 60%, 40%. In perpetuity. And I'm like, I need a dictionary. And I looked up that word, in perpetuity, for the life of the book and the proceeds of the book for the end of the world. I'm like, huh? And I'm already thinking of, okay, caps, t-shirts, you know, other stuff from the book cover. I'm like, so you're gonna get a percentage of stuff forever? Like, how do you become a publisher? And I found out, I was like, you know, pay your money to, you know, Secretary of State, you know, get a business license, yada yada, and you're a publisher. I'm like, that's it. I created a publisher. So I created my own book. I'm the publisher, distributor, manufacturer. I print the book, bind the book, glue the book, the whole thing. Everything.
Wow.
I put the whole book together myself, and I sell it myself. This price I get 100% of.
Yourself.
And I have my ISBN, my barcode, and I put it in bookstores first, and you know, all the bookstores, and then I would go to flea markets. And people probably remember me, flea market. Hello, how you doing? It's the gospel I wrote and produced. You know. I'm at the flea market selling my book and my DVDs and stuff, and they're like, you know, I'm like sold out. And I'm calling the bookstore the next day, hey, how many books you got? Oh, we still got the same 10 you gave us. Well, can I come get them? Because I'm going to the flea market tomorrow, and I'm selling them, and you're not. So eventually I'm like, you know, bookstores, you know, are like libraries. You go read a book, drink your Starbucks, and
leave.
Yeah. So each one I've learned from. So but the book is started everything. You know, and everything is the fruit of the tree, I guess.
Okay. So all of them are very impactful for different purposes.
Yes.
So being such a busy person, how do you find time to relax?
Well, and people ask me that too. What do I do for fun? Everything. I mean, because I love doing what I do. So this isn't work. I mean,
because it's a passion.
Yeah, and one of my sayings I live by is, better to you live 2 years the way your friends won't, and know to live a lifetime the way they can't. So I know that 2 years has taken me 20-something years, but I still believe that, I mean, it's the journey. And once you find, and that's why I did When God Calls, Will You Answer? Because once you find your calling in life, you don't worry about other things. It's so much fun, and you live much longer. So you find what you love. And once you find you love, you love what you do.
What you do.
So, and I love movies. So, at the end of the day, I'm watching a movie at home. And I'm learning, like, ooh, they used a green screen on that one.
What obstacles have you faced?
Obstacles, the normal things, funding. You go through that, you find a way to make it work. And I've been able, and so blessed that I've been able to find a way to make it work. If anyone wanted to help support what we're doing, that would be great. We have ways they can do that. Other than that, I would say, and I don't associate myself with a lot of people that aren't doing or trying to do something, because those are the people that can bring you down, and negative people. And sometimes you need to make your surroundings smaller, of people that are with you and are working for your best interest. And sometimes it could be family, and I talk about a lot about, stress. I try to make sure I don't have much of that by, keeping like negativity away from me. I stay on a positive tip as much as I can. I try to indulge myself in learning, what I do, from writing to doing movies, to doing plays, to doing productions. I try to learn from people who are doing it, so I don't reinvent the wheel.
What advice would you give to individuals who have dreams?
Dreams is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself first. Believe in God, believe in yourself. Those are things, it's actually on my refrigerator. Believe in God, believe in yourself. Believe that you have the ability to make it happen. But you also have to understand that whatever you want to do, someone has probably done that before, or something or near it. There are a lot of original and new ideas, but whatever you want to do, reach out to find someone who can mentor you and guide you to get closer to your next step. Kids today, believe in yourself.
Yes.
Get out there and intern with someone, call someone, go. And with social media, you can find people that are doing something close to what you're doing. Send them an inbox message. Say, hey, can you help? I mean, all they can say is yes or no.
Right. And when the first person says no, it's okay. Ask somebody else.
I mean, because we all know about the stories of, the celebrities that have done things and lived in their cars and all kinds of things for years and years. And I mean, and I've talked to them, and I've actually learned from their stories. And it's like, wow, I'm not doing too bad.
Right. It's dedication, consistency, and faith and patience.
Yeah, but it's hard. I'm not gonna say it's easy. Hard. And and you got, like you said, you got to get rid of toxic people. People don't want to hear that. Because people will drain you quicker than a battery. Because they haven't done anything. And you have to step yourself, if you want to get on that path, you have to find a path to get on and find people that are going with you. I also have a real estate degree, and I'm a registered architect. So those, things I graduated in college with. I don't use those as much. I use the architecture for building sets, for my plays. The real estate, I hadn't done too much of that, but I want to. One of my goals is to create a film studio in Augusta. And I got this one place I drive by every day almost. I look at it, I'm like, I want to buy that whole shopping center, and I want to turn that shopping center into a film studio. And, so people, because when I filmed my movie, I had to use this person's studio, use this person's studio, use this person's house, use this person. And I'm like, if I had everything in my own building, you know, people wouldn't have to go to Atlanta, you know, for his studio. We could have a studio here, you know. So, and a lot of actors are so much talent in Augusta.
It is.
You know, so that's, you know, so if anyone out there would like to sponsor that, I'm available. I can design it and buy it.
That is an amazing dream. And the fact that you said you ride by it, you're claiming it. You know,
I'm looking at
it's
it,
coming
like,
too. And there's a vision there. If someone asked you, who is Michael Jones? How would you respond? You definitely have a resume. So how would you respond?
I'm just a simple black man trying to make it to, you know, to the next day, and trying to help someone else make it through the day. And I believe that God has given me certain abilities and certain talents. Everyone has them. A lot of people don't use the talents that God has given them because either fear, that's something that I don't let come in. You know, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of, you know, I can't do this, I can't do that. Hey, I mean, I filmed a 2-hour and 6-minute Never Again movie in 2 years, from 2020 to 2022 during COVID. And every Saturday we filmed because the actors had to stick a swab up their nose every Thursday and Friday before we can come out and film. I was determined, I'm gonna get this movie done. And I hired people. And stage plays, I had a good formula for sponsorship because I'm gonna do radio, TV commercials. And like, your ad is gonna be on the radio, TV commercial. So when you give us some money, we'll put your ad on the TV. The movie, I'm like, I'm gonna do a movie now. You know, and an angel came up to me and told me about the movie. Because in 2010, you know, in 2018 was my last stage play. So I worked from 2018 to 2020 to do a 10-city tour of When God Calls You Answer with 4 celebrities that I had lined up to go in the stage play and do major market cities. And the whole thing was canceled in 2020. So I was kind of depressed, and I was like, well, what, you know, what am I gonna do? I'm sitting at the house, you know, I can't do it. And someone said, you need to put Never Again back online, you know, online. I'm like, but it was done initially on a VHS and then, you know, DVD later. So the quality, that was 2004 and 5 and 6, is not quality today. So I can't just do it. I was like, you know, rent a theater, no audience, and film it. I'm like, I can do that. Okay, got the actors ready, and I'm like, okay, we need grass and trees on stage. And the guy was like, you know what? We got grass and trees in the backyard for free. I'm like, I can do it outside? That's how the movie started. I'm like, do it outside. And then the guy was like, you know what? Because you need to put Never Again online because now we're in a Black History Me Too movement. And I had never put those terms together. And I'm like, America is in a Black History Me Too movement. You know, with the governor of Texas and all kinds of things, and all kinds of political things going on in America. You know, we're in a situation where, you know, Black history is being targeted. So I need a Black history movie online. And I decided to put it online, and it was like incredible how this happened. But I couldn't find funding. And you know how I raised the money for it?
How?
Door dashing. 2 years. And I told so many people, it's like, I raised this money hustling. I got out there and made it happen.
Yeah. Because
I had to. And I raised the money for that movie, paid everybody. I have no one else to pay for the movie. The entire movie is owned by my company. I did the entire project myself. And it's like, you know, if I could have listened to people that say you can't do it, you know, you don't have the money for a movie cost. I'm like, and, you know, I'll tell you how much the movie costs, you'll probably fall out of that chair. But I raised all of it and I spent every penny of it. It's way in the tens of thousands of dollars. Wow. Way in that, almost 100,000 that I spent in 2 years out of money that I made tips. And just
wow.
Because I was like, this movie's gonna happen. And the actors and the crew, I love them to death. They were out there every Saturday. And a couple of them were like, we gotta stick it up our nose again. Sorry, these are the rules. You know, I gotta do it, you know? You know what I mean? Because I didn't have to do it because I had a mask on. You know, my crew, we were all masked. But the actors, like, in order to put the camera on you, we gotta make sure you're negative.
You made it happen.
Yeah.
Well, it has been a pleasure. Is there anything else that you want to share about everything with our audience?
Can I share my contact information?
Yes,
so that people know how to contact us. We would love for your support in a lot of things we're doing. If you're interested in acting, 40 Acres, Who Stole the Mule? I'll be casting around November. I'll be sending out casting after we finish the Health Fair. So if you're interested, you can call me directly or 706-294-1152 or go on Facebook. My Facebook page is Mike Jones. Kind of hard to find me that way. Or you can go to my business page, $1 at a Time Productions, as in ONE, dollar at a Time Productions. You can send a message about that, or you can you can see any of the movies in the videos we've done. Never Again is online. We had it on a streaming platform for a cost, but now I put it online for free.
Okay.
So if you'd like to see Never Again, it's available on our YouTube channel, which is $1 at a Time Productions. And you can go in there and you can see Never Again. You can see the trailer. You can see the full 2 hour and 6 minute movie. It's on YouTube. Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
Always have to say that. And that helps us as we move forward to other, productions we're doing. We're going to be, using YouTube as our platform.
I really appreciate your presence here today.
Thank you.
You are so inspiring to so many people, including myself. So it was an honor to have you here with me today. I definitely learned a lot from you since I met you the past couple of weeks.
Thank you.
And I'm really appreciative of that. Guys, I know you enjoyed today. So much information. He provided so many gems to you guys. If you're interested in any of his work, perhaps being in one of his plays, purchasing one of his books, please contact him or contact Talk for 30 and I will provide you with that information as well. I hope that today's episode provides some inspiration for you. And remember, if you have a dream, only you can make it your reality. If you would like to sit here with me and have a conversation, contact me and let's talk for 30. Peace.
Tell me what you learning. What's your line of business? How you make your earnings? Do you give back to your city or educate the ones that listen? Time to show them how to get it. Give the people what they missing. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. Let's talk for 30. What's your line of business? How you make your earnings? Let's talk for 30. Dreamer. Let's talk for 30. Where you at on your journey? Tell me what you learning.